yes. Good evening, all my South Orange Mayport listeners, and all those other listeners in the towns of Millburn, Livingston, Irvington, West Orange, East Orange, Orange, and Newark. Welcome to In the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Mayport Online Radio Experience, and live on the World Wide Web at somore.org. And the only radio show covering all your news, opinions, politics, talk, and sports happening in the South Orange Mayport communities. You can listen to us every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. And reach us at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626 to participate in the discussion. We have an interesting program lined up for you this evening, and I look forward to your participation in the discussion. Now tonight, we have a very, very interesting topic to discuss tonight. And in a few minutes, we're going to get Walter Fields on the line. He's one of the leaders of that new organization that was recently formed in South Orange and Maplewood called the South Orange Mayport Parents of Students of African Descent. And just yesterday, the South Orange Mayport Parents of Students of African Descent issued a press release. And the title of the press release was Washington Post Ed Blogger Exposes AP Inequities at Columbia High School. South Orange Maplewood Superintendent admits barriers, restriction, access. So for many of you who don't know, there was a recent article in the Washington Post, and the title of the article was, Why Can't His Daughter Take AP Classes? And the story was done by J. Matthews. It was published on the 13th, and it was updated on April 14th. And let me just give you a quick background before we try to get Walter Fields here with us in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Mayport Online Radio Experience. We have, the article states, Walter Fields' 15-year-old daughter is a sophomore at Columbia High School in Maplewood, New Jersey. She scored advanced proficient on state math test in middle school and received an A in algebra in 8th grade. For reasons that mystify Fields and his wife, their daughter was not recommended for the 9th grade geometry course that will keep her on track to advanced placement calculus her senior year. Only when they contacted the principal and the math department chair was she placed in that advanced course. The geometry teacher encouraged her dream to become an engineer. She had a B most of the year, but slipped to a C because of the demands of lettering in basketball and track, her father said. Now she's in a fix. Her Algebra 2 teacher made clear on Parents' Night, her father said, that she did not like school sports and suggested students need to choose between being involved in a sport and being enrolled in her course. The teacher has proved to be, her father said, very discouraging. His daughter has struggled. So what we're going to do, we're going to play a little music for you, and then we're going to try to get Walter Fields on the line here with us in the Village with Anselm and the South Orange Mayport Online. So stay tuned for that. We are back with you. We are back with you. It's in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Mayport Online Radio Experience. Coming to you every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626. Now let's try to get Walter Fees on the line here with us in the Village with Anselm and the South Orange Mayport Online Radio Experience.
Hello.
Hi, Walter. How are you? It's Anselm in the Village with Anselm and the South Orange Mayport Online Radio Experience.
Yes, how are you doing this evening?
How are you doing tonight?
Good.
Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you fine.
Well, Walter, many people in South Orange and Mayport have read the article in the Washington Post and basically addressing the situation with your daughter at Columbia High School. And I just read the title of the article done by Jay Matthews is Why Can His Daughter Take AP Calculus Classes? And I must tell you, Walter, that, when I go through the Mayport Online, it was kind of discouraging to read some of the comments about many individuals on Mayport Online and just how they describe individuals that they may know nothing about. That's just an aside. I find that these are some of the same parents that we send our kids to school with. And if some of these parents have some of these ideas the way they write, it's sort of very disappointing. But I just had to make that. But let's get back to the article, Walter. And some of the things that I guess needed a little clarification is like in the article, it was stated that she had a B most of the year, but slipped to a C because of the demands of lettering in basketball and track, her father said. Just talk a little bit about that. Expand on that a little bit for us.
Sure. The fact of the matter is, and the truth of the matter is that, first of all, the article focuses on my daughter, but it speaks largely to all black students at Columbia High School. My daughter was used as an example. But in terms of her freshman year experience, she was in level 5 geometry. She did maintain a B for most of the year until the final semester, when, unknown to us, we discovered that she was a fantastic track athlete. It was her first experience with track and field. She had never participated in sport, and lo and behold, she ends up being the third best freshman in the state in long jump, and qualified for the New Balance High School National Championship games that she participated in North Carolina. So her track season was extended well beyond what any of us thought it would be. So deep into June, she was still doing track. And it did have an impact upon her ability to juggle a lot of demands as a 15-year-old freshman. So, we acknowledge that. But I think what people need to understand is that did not prevent her from being placed into level 5 math her sophomore year. She didn't choose to be placed in level 5 math her sophomore year. It just placed her in level 5 math her sophomore year. So I think, part of what people, I think, do with these articles, they read into it what they want to read into it, and they don't really read the facts. The facts are you have a young lady who met all the requirements of the district to be placed in advanced honors mathematics. She actually scored, and this isn't in the article, but she took the PSAT as a sophomore, which they are allowed to do. They encourage to do level. And she scored a 59 in math, which is at a less grade above the average level. And so this is a young lady who also being now approached by dozens of colleges that have strong math programs, including NJNT, Rensselaer, University of Pennsylvania, Quinnipiac, University of Richmond, Dickinson, great schools they are all recruiting my daughter based upon her academics and not her athletics. So, I think when you begin to read some comments, you just have to understand that even though it's South Orange Maplewood, there's a lot of ignorance in this community, and you can never really pay attention on so people will say anything behind the keyboard. And so, we don't even know how many people that really on Maplewood online. It could be 10 people using 30 different screen names. So I don't put any credence into those comments. I'm more concerned with addressing what has been a systemic issue in this district for over a decade.
Walter, it was very disappointing, and I have made this comment many times before. I mean, many people read the article, and all they wanted to focus on is that one sentence that she had a B most of the year, but slipped to a C because of demands of lettering in basketball and track. And I can tell you that personally, for a person who went to college on a track and field scholarship, there may be just times during the year that things happen and your work may suffer. It's just a slight setback, but it doesn't mean to say that you are any less of a student than you have always been. So this may just be a minor chink in the armor, so to speak. So that doesn't mean to say because that happened, she needs to go back into being, like, for example, if she's in level 5 now, they have to move her to level 3, for example. And that was the kind of feedback that I noticed on Maplewood Online. But let me just go to another question, and this is a quote from the algebra teacher, is that she did not like sports and suggested students need to choose between being involved in a sport and being enrolled in a course. I find that to be very difficult to take, in that, to me, the teacher should be encouraging the student who wants to have these extracurricular activities and not just be an academic person, to make them into well-rounded individuals for college.
Yes, I think, the educational experience should definitely be well-rounded. Children should have the opportunity to excel in the classroom. They should have the opportunity to excel on the playing field and in any other club activities or musical activities or arts activities in the school. So, once again, I just think that people who are small-minded and who are already biased will always come up with sort of the very trite, response that, this person isn't qualified. But what they don't want to acknowledge are the hard